After 53 years behind bars, Manson family member Leslie Van Houten was just released from prison this month. She was serving a life sentence for her role in the slaughter of Leno and Rosemary LaBianca on August 10th, 1969. This was only the day after the Manson family killed pregnant actress Sharon Tate, along with 4 others. Charles, along with his followers, chose to break into the LaBianca's home at random. Once inside, a literal slaughter occurred. Leslie held down Rosemary LaBianca while she and the rest of the Manson family took turns stabbing her. For perspective, Rosemary was stabbed so brutally that one of the knives actually bent backwards as it was jammed into her clavicle bone. Manson's right-hand man, Tex, initially stabbed Rosemary, but then he handed the knife over to Leslie, who proceeded to stab Rosemary an additional 14 times. All while the other follower, Patricia, was also stabbing her. In 1971, Leslie testified in court and said, "I took one of the knives, and Patricia had one. We started stabbing and cutting up the lady." Ultimately, Rosemary was stabbed 41 times. The next day, the LaBianca's children would come home to see their parents in a state that no person or children should have to see. Father Leno was on the living room floor with a bloody pillowcase covering his head. He had a cord tightly wrapped around his neck and his hands were tied behind his back. He was stabbed in the neck with a bayonet. Before the killers left, they stabbed a fork into his stomach, and then they proceeded to carve the word war into his lower abdomen. The Manson family then took the victim's blood to write words like "death to pigs" and "rise" on the living room walls. Meanwhile, they left wife Rosemary on the bedroom floor with her nightgown pulled up over her head, leaving her not only bloody, but also exposed for her children to see. Ultimately, Leslie underwent 3 trials for her role in the murders, the first of which she would be sentenced to death, although this would ultimately be overturned after capital punishment was outlawed in the state. The second case resulted in a hung jury, and the third resulted in life in prison with the possibility of parole. Over the years, the families of the murder victims have continued to fight to keep these murderers behind bars. But with Leslie being released from prison just this month, the LaBianca's daughter released a statement which said, "While Leslie's release may be considered legal, to me and my family, it is ethically and morally wrong." Today, Leslie now claims that she has been rehabilitated since the murders. Although the same can't be said for the murder victims, they are both still very much dead. Do you think she should have been released?